Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Today we're talking MultiVersus, the new upcoming platform fighting game, because seemingly out of nowhere, they just kicked it up into super high gear. So before we get to the meat of it here, first off, the closed alpha, invitation only, is happening very soon, starting May 19th. And they're accepting applications for invitations, so if you want to check the video description below, I'll post a link to that there. Also, just so you know, if you got into the previous technical tests on PC, you're automatically already going to be in the closed alpha. So all that said, let's talk some of the big news here. First off, MultiVersus will be at EVO. Even if it's not necessarily going to be the finished game just yet, it's at EVO nevertheless. And it's also coming with a massive prize pool. $100,000, and that's for one tournament. That's it, just EVO, right? Which will almost certainly make it the single highest payout tournament in all of EVO. It's running the 2v2 format, and top 32 teams get paid. Which, frankly, is a damn sight better than how it usually goes in fighting game tournaments, where it's usually only top 8 get paid, and if you didn't make top 3, you're probably not getting anything, realistically. Like, past top 3, it's hard to get even your travel costs of the tournament reimbursed. With such a massive prize pool, even with top 32 getting paid, odds are you'll probably get something halfway decent. Even if at the lower end it's only, in quotes, $1,000. So basically for a game that's not even out yet, we're in a closed alpha test, right? Not even a closed beta. They're coming out swinging pretty big. And also, once again, this is a 2v2 format. So not since like the glory days of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right? Has like this multiplayer style been attempted in a tournament. So that'll be very interesting to see. And at the very least, this is finally the fighting game you get to blame your teammate for losing, right? Hey, I didn't lose, I did. Great, it's all this idiot's fault. And for some people, protecting your ego like that, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, and that'll bring him into the dance. So, however it brings you to fighting games, as long as it brings you to fighting games, I'm cool with it. So, I like the idea of 2v2 being the focus, and the fact that a lot of characters' movesets are designed around the fact that the main mode of the game is 2v2. Like, Wonder Woman's whip can smack you, or it can save a teammate about to fall off a ledge. So, basically, MultiVersus at EVO is going to be a pretty big deal. And considering top 32 get paid, you know, when you go to a big tournament, oh man, I'll never make top 8. Whatever, right? But top 32 is a much more manageable goal. So I think a lot more people that maybe wouldn't try are going to give it a shot. And besides the EVO news, with this footage you're seeing here, the developers have put out a couple statements, recommitting to the fact that this game is cross-play and cross-progression. So if you play on PlayStation, you can play your friend on Xbox, you can play your friend on PC, and even the upcoming closed alpha test will be full crossplay as well. And for cross progression, when the retail build is out anyways, if you switch between like PlayStation and PC a lot, you can just seamlessly go on the fly and you keep all the progress, which is amazing. That's fantastic. No other fighting game offers that. We're already struggling big time to get crossplay, right? So if it takes us the next like 5 years of screaming and fighting to get crossplay as the standard, as we barely just got out of getting rollback netcode the standard, right? Cross progression, that'll probably be like the 2030s or something. So in this avenue, I guess, MultiVersus is definitely well ahead of the curve. So definitely big respect for that. Some other things to note from this video, and I'll also link this in the video description if you want to give the full video a watch, is the game is still obviously in development, and they're very big on taking fan feedback into account for balanced decisions and all that. Also, they consider Shaggy the baseline of the game. So Shaggy is the Ryu, if you will. Now, we'll see how that plays out in the future, I suppose, because that was the idea for Street Fighter V as well, and well, that sort of stopped being the case after a while. However, regardless, it's interesting to see that it's a stated goal to keep Shaggy the baseline, at least for now. Also promised is consistent updates, which is great, and frankly, if you're going to be a free-to-play title, which the game is, consistent updates are a thing. Like a free-to-play game that doesn't get updated, you know, and at bare minimum, like a lot of skins and costumes and stuff, is a free-to-play game that won't exist too long. So at the bare minimum, they're basically promising a pretty decent content flow, which is great. When it comes to fighting games, more content is better than less content. Now, here's a big one. Free-to-play fighting game, right? So definitely insists upon the fact free-to-play, you're probably playing it online. And online is definitely better these days than it has been, right? We're getting there. But online, especially in a game with 4 players, 4 unique players, if 2v2's the main focus, is a bit scary, especially because platform fighters especially have had it a lot more rough on the online front than most traditional fighting games. Like, say, Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers not necessarily known for the quality of its online play. To this exact point, they said they're aiming for best-in-class online play of any game ever. That's a quote. And that's a hell of a statement. Now, given the genre we're in of fighting games, that's a lot easier to pull off than some other games, some other genres, because traditionally online's been pretty poor in most fighting games. That said, however, still, they're aiming very big, and best in class would be fantastic, especially once again, for active players. You need great online to make that work. Like, if I'm in Canada, my partner's in the States, we're fighting someone from Germany and the Ivory Coast. That's some pretty wackadoodle mishmash of connections, right? So you will need best in class to make that possible. That said, they said they're investing a lot of their resources to make sure online is a great experience, and hopefully they pull it off. So, well, there you have it. There has not been much news on the MultiVersus front in a good while, and now, as of today, there's quite a bit. They're gunning for top spot at EVO, and with the prize pool and the fact, it's a team game, maybe expectations are just a little bit lower. I think they're going to get a lot of entrants. They got their closed alpha that you can sign up for, at the very least. Maybe it'll help you get a little bit of practice before EVO, right? And they're promising a lot. New character stages, a lot of content coming, and in their own words, once again, best in class online. That's some mighty heavy shoes to fill into, for sure, right? And considering the game's going to be free to play and have all these wildly popular properties, all the DC heroes, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Shaggy, Steven Universe, this, that, and the other, Game of Thrones, and a lot more coming, the game's definitely going to pull in the casual audience, for sure. And to appeal to the casual audience and get as many numbers as you can, one of the big things you need is ease of use. So good online, if the online sucks, they're just going to scare away all the casuals, right? But if it's great, then that's great too. Plus the cross progression, crossplay, all that kind of stuff will definitely help keep that casual audience in. So that all said, we'll see how it all turns out. They're aiming for the stars, and I hope the best for every fighting game. So I hope they can achieve their plans. Besides all that, well, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some MultiVersus.